I disagree with Ark Invest about this by a ton. I think they are super underestimating the power of smart contracts. And in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at slide 74 from their Big Ideas report for 2023, where they say they think smart contracts could facilitate $450 billion in annual fees by 2030. And explain to you why that number might actually be way too low and how you might be able to invest now. I'm not a financial advisor, but we're just going to think about this from a fundamental level in order to profit potentially on this crazy amount of fees that smart contracts are going to start generating. Because if someone's generating revenue, then someone's going to be making money and something's going to be going up in market cap. So if that sounds good to you, remember to drop a big thumbs up, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and let's jump into this. So starting off, let's understand exactly what Ark Invest is saying here. So smart contracts could facilitate the organization, ownership, and management of tokenized assets for a fraction of the cost of traditional finance services. And guys, this is really important for decentralized video games or digital ownership in virtual worlds, because if you need like an actual company to be facilitating all this, it would just be way too expensive. But if a decentralized blockchain can be doing it very cheaply, then it gets really excited about the type of like economies that we can run with decentralized finance in these virtual worlds. If financial assets were to migrate to a blockchain infrastructure at a rate similar to the adoption of the early internet and decentralized finance, so this is their first assumption, that financial assets will migrate to the blockchain infrastructure at a rate similar to the adoption of the internet. So that's a big assumption. And it's going to help us determine whether or not they're right. And their second assumption, decentralized financial services charged a third of traditional finance services take rates. Okay, so decentralized finance is going to be a lot cheaper by 1/3 of what current financial services are charging. That I think might accelerate the adoption even more, at least for consumer preference. Smart contracts could generate $450 billion in annual fees and create $5.7 trillion in market value by 2030. So $5.3 trillion in market value. People are going to be getting very wealthy off of this. This video is sponsored by Gala Games, who personally I believe has the best chance to make Web3 gaming go mainstream. And I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor of On-Chain Gaming. I have been covering Gala Games from the very beginning. And in fact, my first videos were pretty skeptical about Gala, but as I learned more, as I did more AMAs, as I was able to do interviews, I just started to get more and more excited about what the Gala Games ecosystem is building. They're truly creating a decentralized Steam competitor that I think has a really good chance because of so many great games coming on the platform. These are games from some of the best game developers in the traditional gaming space that are actually making things that are fun. So I was making then bullish videos about Gala long before they said, hey, we love what you're doing, we want to sponsor what you're doing, and that is how we're here today. So I'm proudly sponsored by Gala Games. I think if you guys have not looked into their ecosystem yet, then click the little notification right here that popped up to learn more about Gala Games. Also, you can sign up for a free Gala Games account using the link in the description. Now I want to explain why they might be even underestimating this a little bit. And I think that it's because that they're predicting, I think they could be doing this correctly, the like migration of current ownership to blockchain infrastructure. I think what they're underestimating is the creation of entirely new asset classes in digital worlds that are also going to be generating fees. And I think that it's not like a migration, it's like a whole new native type of like economy that exists in Web3 that's going to be burning way more fees. For example, just a very simple example, in Mirandus, every single time someone playing that game casts a spell, they are going to be interacting with a smart contract that burns some of their Materium, because Materium is an ERC20 token. It's also going to be a token on Gala's Layer 1 blockchain, which is going to allow for quick, fast, cheap transactions to make this actually possible, because doing this on Ethereum would be way too slow and expensive. But it is also an ERC20 token. There's going to be a bridge. And when someone in the game casts a spell, they're burning this Materium, this real crypto coin, from their inventory in order to cast the spell and do magic in the world. So imagine a game that has 1 million players daily, all casting spells and burning, and it's worthwhile. Why? Well, because when they kill goblins, they're probably getting some Materium out of those goblins as well. So as long as the economy is done in a balanced circular way, then yeah, maybe someone's sometimes burning 6 Materium to get 4, and sometimes they're burning 4 Materium to get 5 or something like that. Like, you know, but it's pretty even. At that point, though, like, you start to look at the volume of some of these economies, some of these smart contracts, it's going to be insane. So yeah, there might be $450 billion of annual fees generated from the migration of current assets to the blockchain, and the fees generated from that. But you have these whole brand new digital worlds created, like the Oasis, like Mirandus, like Big Time, like Alluvium, like the Sandbox. And all of a sudden, all of these new digital game worlds with their own digital economies and real property rights are also having smart contracts that are burning stuff like crazy on all of these transactions. So I think that's what could make it even bigger. But even so, if you look at this, just look at this. Fees generated by smart contracts. This chart here, the second one, currently in 2022, it's 11 billion in 2022. Ark Invest is expecting 59% growth a year to get to 450 billion. And I'm arguing this could be even bigger. We might see 70% growth or something like that if gamers really start realizing how much better having real property rates is for them and start switching, adopting crypto games en masse, which is going to happen eventually. But all S-curves start slowly before you can ramp up. So that's just where we are. We're early on in the S-curve right now. But yeah, by 2030, that's 7 years from now, the S-curve could have totally ramped by then. Like Mirandus is going to already have shown its stuff. A lot of these games, Forever Winter, Last Expedition, so many of these really cool games are going to, I think, have attracted a lot of gamers to crypto gaming by 2030. So this is just really, really overall like super exciting though. So yeah, if you guys now want to profit off of this, what do I recommend? Well, what's the biggest cryptocurrency that enables smart contracts? Well, it's pretty straight up. Here you go here, and it's number 2, Ethereum. Ethereum has the most developers, the most users. Everything is bridging back to Ethereum. Like, even though Gala has its own layer 1 blockchain and all the games are going to run their blockchain, guess what? They all bridge back to Ethereum. And all their coins, they're minting them and they're creating their contracts originally on Ethereum. So Ethereum, I think, is a really good way to take advantage of smart contracts. But I think that Gala could be another really great way. And now I should disclose that Gala has never supported any of my predictions about their coin. It's just a utility coin. So anything I say about potential price, I'm on my own for. And I'm also not a financial advisor. But they are working really hard. If you look at their roadmaps that they're releasing and all the changes that they're making, they're trying to burn all the Gala spent in their store. Well, they're not trying. They are burning all the Gala spent in their store. They're going to be burning Gala every time people do microtransactions on their mobile games, like Dragon Strike and Meow Match. They are just trying to burn Gala like in every way that they can while building, like continuing to grow this ecosystem. We have halvings of Gala. And when Ark Invest is talking about potentially, $450 billion of revenue from smart contracts, like some of that is going to be transactions that happen on Gala. So right now, this is a $420 million market cap, fully diluted, $2.8 billion. But you compare that to Ethereum, 200 billion, and there's a 100x difference here between Gala and Ethereum. And Gala honestly probably is going to have just as many games as Ethereum. Gala is going ham on game acquisition. So if gamers are driving the majority of user acquisition early on, Gala could get bigger. Gala could get more transactions, more users than even Ethereum has. Like, that's the potential. And right now it's 100 times smaller than even Ethereum. But yeah, I think that any of these blockchain coins that have really good tokenomics and enable smart contracts and have like burning when the smart contracts are interacted with, I think there's a lot of potential in a lot of these different coins. Now, outside of like gaming, there's a lot of coins as well. Like you could talk about Uniswap or something like that. But yeah, I think you can just look at the space. Also, I think like if you want to go more the traditional route, stuff like Block, they're creating the Lightning Network for Bitcoin. I don't know exactly how or if they're going to be generating value from that. I'm guessing they're going to have some kind of fee on that. And you could own like an actual company too through like the New York Stock Exchange as well if you want to try to get some upside about smart contracts and this transition. Because remember, fundamentally, guys, if the cost is 1/3 to the consumer plus it's trustless because you don't have to trust anyone because it's a smart contract, then you don't have to worry about that. So it's like completely sleep well at night. Don't have to worry about any of the transactions. So it costs less for you. It's quicker. Like it's going to happen. This transition is going to happen. So better to own it now than after everyone realizes. And also better to, own the next big thing rather than own the thing that's dying, which is traditional finance. Now, this is going to be a big transition. It's going to happen over multiple lifetimes and stuff like that. So we have to hold our horses on getting too optimistic. But I am so excited about the future and all of these blockchains and about how much revenue crypto gaming is going to be generating. It's going to blow minds. So if you guys enjoyed this video, we're going to drop a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And until the next one, I think this is maybe the last one I do on Ark Invest's big ideas. So if you enjoyed the series, then yeah, hopefully you go back and hit thumbs up on all of them. Until the next one, guys, have fun roaming the metaverse.